ordained minister as of yet, but we would still like to charge him. We do things a little bit different at times. Everybody's not going to preach the same, sing the same, teach the same, all those things. So this may not be exactly what you think of. He told me today he's going to modernize some things today. Okay? I looked over there and he has a laptop to go along with his Bible. Me, I would never put my trust in electronics. I have it in paper. But hey, he's living on the edge, I guess. All right, so what we'd like to do is have Dakotah come and stand down in front of us here. We're going to charge him and ask him to preach the word this way. So I ask the congregation to stand with us. And I'd ask you to repeat after me. What I'll say is, Brother Dakotah, and you'll say, Brother Dakotah. And I'll say, preach the word, and you'll say, preach the word. Okay, so that's how that'll work. And each time, I want you to get a little bit louder, a little bit firmer with your charge. And then he'll give us his testimony and share what the Lord has laid upon his heart this morning. All right? Are you nervous? All right, so we're thankful to have him. He's been a help to us, been a help to this preacher as far as what he's doing with the youth group that I cannot do. Him and Kristen are helping us in an immense way. They're helping us to build a church for the future. If we can be honest with ourselves and look around, there's a lot of older people in this room in the next 10 or 15 years that may not be here. Right? So we need to start today to build up for tomorrow. And we can't thank them enough for what they're doing and what their efforts they're putting in to help this happen. Amen. Amen. Sorry, so quickly we'll charge him. I said, come give his testimony and preach for us today. Brother Dakotah. Brother Dakotah. That's a little bit better. Come on. Brother Dakotah. Brother Dakotah. Preach the word. Preach the word. Brother Dakotah. Brother Dakotah. Preach the word. Preach the word. Brother Dakotah. Brother Dakotah. Preach the word. Preach the word. Amen. Come on, Brother Dakotah.
I don't think my mic's working yet. I turned it off.
He doesn't trust me.
Well, who would trust mine? Me. That's one out of how many here? Sure, only one. Surprised you got to say I do. No, I'm sorry. All right. Is it on? Can you hear me? Can everybody hear me?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So I was asked to give a little bit of my testimony. So you're probably going to hear a lot of this voice today. Actually, I want to start with when I was really young. We're going to just jump right into this. I think I was about 6 years old in my home church of Highland Baptist in Missouri. We had this pastor, and I don't remember his name, but it was right after VBS. He had preached the Sunday after. I think he was just filling in. And I remember what he looks like very distinctly because it was like one of those eye-opening moments. He had really the darkest hair I've ever seen, like black as his microphone, the classic Jerry goatee. He was 6 foot 1,000 to me then, and I just remember sitting in the pew with my grandmother. We were always the fourth or fifth pew back on the left side from the building. Never changed. Never have I ever sat anywhere else at that church. And I remember thinking as I was 6 or 7, I just accepted Jesus into my life, right? At the end of VBS, they were like, anybody, any kid wants to come up and accept Jesus? I have gone up there. The week after, I went to my grandma, and I was like, I think I want to preach. She goes, are you serious? And I go, I don't know, I'm 7 years old, how serious can I be? So she, being my grandma and being awesome, she actually went up to the pastor and said, hey, my grandson, 7 years old, wants to preach. This pastor, this full-grown man, came up to me and actually had like an intellectual conversation. Now, I'm 7 years old. He's using these giant words that I still can't use today, so I won't try. And I'm sitting there thinking, I gotta be really smart for this. So time goes by, and I've told you guys before, that was like my curtain call, if you will. But as time went by, I kind of just didn't live the life as a Christian should. And it was about my 8th grade freshman year when I'd finally come to Christ. I actually say it's kind of my birth year, if you will, where I finally grasped it and I finally gave everything to Christ. And then in the back of my head, I felt this little voice that I heard when I was 7 years old say, hey, welcome back, let's get right to it. And I was only a youth at the time. And at that time, I was only one of the 3 youth that our youth had. So we got one of my best friends in the whole world, Dave Crump, who's the youth pastor over there now, and it grew exponentially. But being one of the only three, I was also the third oldest. And when we grew up to in like the 20s, like the 20, 25. I think we had 30 youth students, fellow peers, friends. And being one of the oldest, I was kind of forced into this student leadership role. And I guess I say forced because at the time I was so resistant to doing any leading at all. I got to a point in my life where I just wanted to learn. Every waking moment, I just wanted to learn. So when I was forced in this position, it kind of sent me on a spiral. That it's like, I don't know how to compare it. You're being looked up to. I was being looked up to when I didn't want to be. Came to it for advice before I even knew that I was supposed to lead, supposed to answer this call in ministry. And much like the testimony that I gave you for answering the call for youth, much like it's the same exact thing. I resisted and I kind of spiraled out again. I went church hopping until it wasn't until 2014 where I was like, okay, maybe I just need to jump right into this ministry. And I did, and I went to Indiana to be a summer missionary out of this church camp. That's when God really reaffirmed that I was going to be in ministry at some point in my life. Back up again a couple years, when I was forced into this leadership role, I had actually began preaching Sunday nights at my home church of Highland Baptist. I preached 2, 3, 4 times, and that's when it started going out. I don't know what in my mind I thought, would be good for me to start church hopping as soon as I stepped into this ministry. I thank the Lord in 2014, He brought me back into the mindset of ministry. And not only was I excited to be part of this ministry, I was ready. And then in 2015, I moved actually to Indiana, April 16, 2015, which means I've been here almost almost 2 years now. They flew by, and every bit of it was doing some kind of ministry. Being a summer missionary, leading kids at these camps, thousands of kids I get to meet, and then ultimately ending up here at this amazing home church that I was able to finally step in and say, boom, let's do the youth. Let's do the junior church. And I just feel very blessed to be up here right now. So yeah, that's from age 7 to now. That is a little bit of the background. I feel God really has called me to preach. I felt it for a long time. I questioned, not God, myself quite a bit. I'm my own biggest enemy. I was an athlete, always competitive. I promise I'm better than everybody here. I'm also the most humble, if you haven't noticed. But I'm always striving to get better. And with that comes like self-doubt. But the good thing is God has used that self-doubt to turn around and better myself. So yeah, that is all I got as far as my testimony. So let's get to it. Jerry said I was telling him I was modernizing the things, pushing the envelope a little bit. I came to him earlier and he said, "You got your notes on a laptop?" I go, "Oh yeah." I wouldn't have it any other way. I'm 21 years old. And I'm thinking God's really telling Jerry to get into the technology area, but I don't know. I told him, I was like, also, you wanted me to preach from the Message Bible, right? And he's giving me this real big look. I was like, I couldn't decide. So, all right, without further ado, let's get right into it. If you guys would like to stand, open your Bibles up to Psalms chapter 77. We're going to read the whole chapter. Here we go. Verse 1, it says, I cried unto God with my voice, and even unto God with my voice, and He gave ear unto me. In the day of my trouble, I sought out the Lord. My soul ran in the night. My soul ran into the night, and cease not. My soul refused to be comforted. I remembered God and was troubled. I complained and my spirit was overwhelmed. Selah. Thou holdest mine eyes waking. I'm so troubled that I cannot speak. I considered the days of old and the years of ancient times. I call to remembrance my song in the night. I communed with my own heart, and my spirit made a diligent search. Will the Lord cast off forever? And will he be favorable no more? Is his mercy clean gone forever? Doth his promise fail evermore? Have God forgotten to be gracious? Hath he in anger shut up his tender mercies? Selah. And I said, This is my infirmity. But I will remember the years of the right hand of the Most High. I will remember the words of the Lord. Surely I will remember thy wonders of old. I will meditate also on thy word and talk of thy doings. Thy way, O God, is in the sanctuary. Who is so great a God as our God? Thou art the God that doest wonders. Thou hast declared thy strength among the people. Thou hast with thine arm redeemed thy people, the sons of Jacob and Joseph. Selah. The waters saw thee, O God. The waters saw thee, and they were afraid. The depths also trembled. The clouds poured out water. The sky sent out the sound. Thine arrows also went abroad. The voice of thy thunder was in heaven. The lightnings lightened the world. The earth trembled and shook. Thy way is in the sea, and thy path is in the great waters. And thy footsteps are not known. Thou leadest thy people like a flock by the hand of Moses. All right, let's pray real quick. Dear Father, thank you so much for this opportunity to come and fulfill a calling to ministry that I felt for a long time. And thank you so much for being this church, these people, this family that you have brought me to. You have plucked me from my home in Missouri and dropped me into a place where I would never, at this moment, ever want to leave, Father. And I thank you for that. Lord, right now I ask that you just be with me. And if there's any sins that I'm not aware of or that I've committed, please forgive me and cleanse me and make me pure. And my mind is just focused on you right now, Father. Lord, we thank you so much for bringing everybody here. I ask that you open the minds and the hearts of everyone here, including myself, that even I may learn something as I read or as I preach, Father. Lord, I love you and I thank you. And I thank you so much for just being who you are, God. Thank you so much for sending your Son to die on the cross for our sins. How awesome is your name, Lord. In Jesus' name that we pray. Amen. All right, so first off, I want to give you a little background. This psalm was written by the chief of music, anointed by King David. His name is Asaph. Now, this guy Asaph, like most psalmists, is very descriptive in this passage. But in this particular passage, he's writing based on the communities, this big community, the nation of Israel, outcry to God for him not to be silent in their time of need. Now, we definitely will see that too. What is super interesting to me is the way he writes this chapter. Yeah, I did say chapter. The whole chapter. I don't know how long it's going to be. So, anytime Jerry says, we'll try to get out of it quick, I'm just sitting back there like, so quick is about an hour? It really seems to me that even though he was writing for an overall mood of a certain people, it's like if he was writing if this passage was actually a human being, like if it was you or me. It really interested me in the way he structured it and the uses of the word I. And yes, I understand that this is one man writing, so of course he's going to be writing it in I. But the writing is about a whole lot of people. So why not use the word we? I believe this is because God wanted to make it super personal with each and every single one of us. He wanted us to see ourselves in this scripture, like many scriptures, but many passages. So, yeah, let's get right into it. So, here we go. In verses 1 through 4, he goes, I cried unto God with my voice, even unto God with my voice, and he gave ear unto me. In the day of my trouble I sought the Lord. My soul ran in the night, and ceased not. My soul refused to be comforted. I remembered God and was troubled. I complained, and my spirit was overwhelmed. Selah. Thou holdest mine eyes waking. I am so troubled that I cannot speak. So we see right off the bat, we see I cried, I saw, I remembered, I'm so troubled, I can't sleep. Why are there so many eyes? Why? The only reason that I can figure out is because they're actually used. Now bear with me. When I read this, it came off to me as, wow, this is me, this is myself. Right? And like I said before, God wanted to portray this as you. So before we go any further, I want you to picture this is you. This passage is you. All right? Just real quick, a show of hands, how many in this room has gone through something that maybe thought God didn't hear them? Like, show of hands. Like, pretty much everybody, right? Like, you ask, why aren't you listening? You see, there's one phrase that really changed the way I looked at this passage, and it's in verse 1, the second part, and it says, and he gave ear unto me. Immediately off the bat, it said, Asa said, I cried unto God, and he gave ear unto me. Immediately. To me, this shows that not only was God listening, but he was listening the whole time. Right? And at this point, I figured I would try something a little different. All right. This is something that I've done and only heard once. It really blows my mind if you change the word I and put you. You're reading it from if you were to send a letter to God and God was reading it back. What are those back in the day before computers existed? Yes, I'm asking this crowd. I just seen it fit. In the courtroom, they type. What was it? What is it called? Yeah, the stenographer, right? So when the judge would ask them, "Hey, read back to this," they wouldn't say, you were the. So they would say, "Oh, the judge said this. The judge said that." Kind of the same deal. This is the way I read it, and it kind of blew my mind after I read this. Almost if we read it from God's point of view. I actually said something like this before. When I actually wrote this sermon a long time ago, and I revamped it, and it changed so drastically. But when I first wrote it, I compared it to a text message. I don't know how many of y'all text here, so we'll just stay with stenographer. But so let's read this 1 through 4 again, except using the word "you." All right, just bear with me. So this is from God's point of view, reading this letter that He wrote to Him back. So instead of I, it's going to be you, and when there's God, it's going to be me. Now, I'm not God, I'm just bear with me, right? It's going to be you. It's going to be you. You cried into the night. You cried unto me with your voice. Even unto me with your voice. And I gave ear unto you. In the day of your trouble, you sought me. Your soul ran in the night and ceased not. Your soul refused to be comforted. You remembered me and was troubled. You complained, and your spirit was overwhelmed. Selah. Now, the word Selah, it means to take a break from the song, or the psalm, or what he's writing. So just imagine this is a song, and it's like a break. It's like a pause. Thou holdest mine eyes waking. You're so troubled that you cannot speak. Now, this is super important, I feel like, when writing this, because it gives us a whole other perspective. So often we are told that we are supposed to, well, just try to see things from God's point of view, right? Try to see things from God. Well, what does this look like? What is God really seeing? And I'm hoping that this is going to convey a little bit of what He's seeing when we're going through this. And what's really crazy is that He not only gave an ear to us, but if you read it like this, you see Him seeing you like this. You see Him watching you as you go through these struggles. And I tell you what, He's sympathetic. He's so sympathetic. I'm getting ahead of myself, sorry. All right, so let's read verses 5 and 9. 5 through 9. I have considered the days of old, the years of ancient times. I call to remembrance my song in the night. I commune with mine own heart, and my spirit made a diligent search. Will the Lord cast off forever? And will he be favorable no more? Is his mercy clean gone forever? Be gracious, hath he in anger shut up his tender mercies. Quick question. Does God deserve, he deserves nothing from us but our praise, right? That's not rhetorical. Right? He deserves nothing but our praise, right? Amen. Yes. Absolutely. Well, he deserves what little good we can spout from our mouths, if there's any at all. But if we read this from God's point of view again, like when I first read it, it reminded me of a conversation God had with Job at the end of Job, when he came to Job and he said, "My bad, I thought you were," I'm paraphrasing, of course, it's not from the Bible. He's like, "My bad, I forgot you were there when I laid the foundations of the earth. Totally forgot that you were there when all that happened. When I created the world. My bad, I didn't know you were there when I tell the lightning to strike and it calls back and answers me, I am here, God." That's how this struck me, was God is just thinking, why? So let's read this once again in that certain way, that changing the pronouns. So it says, if we're reading like that, it's, "You have considered the days of old, the years of ancient times. You call to remembrance your song in the night. You commune with your own heart, and your spirit made a diligent search. Will I cast off forever? Will I be favorable no more? Is my mercy clean gone forever? Doth my promise fail forevermore? Have I forgotten to be gracious? Hath I in anger shut up my tender mercies?" What a way to hear God speak. We're sitting here crying out to God, wallowing, and hold on, self-pity. And yes, I understand, do not get me wrong, trials and tribulations are so hard. They're meant to be. They're meant to make us stronger.
That's right.
When we lift weights, you don't go and, if you can, back in the heyday, my max was 225. Believe it or not, I was much skinnier back in the day. So, yes, my max was only 225. More now, but I wouldn't go over to the weight bar. 225, for example, is 245 plates on each side of the bar. The bar itself is 45 pounds. I wouldn't go over there wanting to get bigger, better for baseball, by taking just the bar and 2 tents and sliding them on each side. That wouldn't get me bigger. That wouldn't get me stronger. It would take 400,000 reps for me to feel anything. Now what I do is I go and take those 245s, put 2 on each side, and then add a 10. And I feel the stress that my body is taking, and I get bigger. So these trials and tribulations are not meant to be easy. They are why I like weightlifting. We're going through these, and we're going to get stronger. But in that time, we need to remember who's still in charge. Who our coach is, if you will. So many times we get caught up in our own self-pitying, our own self-wallow. I know I do. I'll get to the point where, like here, 5 through 9, where are you? Where's my spotter? Y'all know what a spotter is when you're weightlifting? You're lifting and somebody's sitting there so you don't die. That's God. Never once in my weightlifting, I wouldn't say career, one of the best at it, but weightlifting experience, did I ever question where my spotter was. So why should we question where our spotter is?
Amen.
He's always there.
Amen.
When I first read this, like I said, it's like the conversation he had through Job. And it's almost like if God was just saying, "Oh, okay." Once again, I'm paraphrasing. Like he's saying, "Oh, okay, sorry. I didn't realize that I'd forgotten to be gracious. My bad, guys. My mercy must have just ran out today." You know what? I think I just don't like you. No, this is still God talking here. No, I see his verse 5 and 6. You remembered a little bit, but that's fine and dandy. But if you remember, why did you still question me? If you were really remembered, like in verse 5 and 6, when it says, I have considered the days of old, the years of ancient times, and I call to remembrance my song in the night. I commune with my own heart, and my spirit made a diligent search. If that is true, why do we question him?
Right.
There's no reason for it. He's still there.
That's right. Amen.
Now, I want to be really clear real quick. And I don't want you to assume that God's just this angry elf in the sky, all right? He's not, when you question him, he's not going to get so mad at you, he's going to turn away. He's not going to get angry at you where he's just like, okay, you question me, I'm done. That's not God's character. Matter of fact, a few pages over, in Psalm 145, verse 8, it tells us that he is slow to anger.
Amen.
So he's not just up there. But I got to assume as well, Scripture tells us we are created in his image, and he's a little sarcastic from time to time. I just think that he's up there he's like, we're crying out, God, where are you? He's like, oh, me? I don't know, where am I? You don't see me? Like, no? Okay, that's fine. No, you're good. I gotta think he's sarcastic. And most of the time I feel like sometimes he's like, it's right there, just call me. It's right here. I'm right here. Why don't you see me? It's because we are wallowing in our self-loathing.
Amen. That's right.
Woe is me, is what the flesh says. I've got it worse than everybody. Right? Just remembering him in verse 5 and 6 is not enough. Now, you see, it's not enough because God calls us to do more than just remain in a state of remembrance. Let's go back to sports real quick. For example, I've played baseball since I was really young. I remember being 1 year old, actually. Kind of something I hold dearly to because my grandfather passed away in '99, one of the greatest people I knew, and I don't know, it's just something that I won't let go of, is those memories. And I remember him having a wiffle ball when I was 1 year old. Mark McGuire was still playing, and he came up with this big blue bat. It's like a big orange wiffle ball bat, so it was Mark McGuire. And I was 1 year old and picked up a baseball bat. And that's when I started playing baseball. So I've been playing baseball, or swinging a bat at least since I was 1 year old. That stopped when I was 17 or 18. School was over. School was done. Right? If I wanted to go be a part of like a recreational baseball league, shoot, I don't even go less than that. I went to a batting cage over there in Zao's Island. I couldn't hit a ball to save my life. I remembered how to swing a bat, and I remembered how to watch the ball come in.
Right.
But I could not, for the life of me, hit that ball. In my heyday, our team would go to the batting cages, the batting cages would go 95 to 99. That's professional league, and our coach would make us sit there until we hit 5 balls, sorry.
Right.
But it's not enough just to remember that I used to be able to do that. It's not enough to remember that God is good. It's more than that. He calls us to meditate. And we see this in verse 10. We're going to read real quick 10 through 15. 10 says, I said this in my infirmity, but I will remember the years of the right hand of the Most High. I will remember the works of the Lord. Surely I will remember the wonders of old. So right here we have remembering, right? But it doesn't stop there. It's not enough for me to remember swinging a baseball bat. In fact, next spring, my roommate and I are going to be playing in a church softball league. Now, I played with them in a tournament last year. I counted like 50 at-bats. Guess how many hits I got? It's slow pitch softball. Last one. I got 1 hit. I remember, but I wouldn't put it into practice. I remember, but I didn't meditate on how to keep that ball coming in. Where to hit it, where to put that bat, where to put that ball. But see, in verse 12, it doesn't stop at remembering. It says in verse 12, I will meditate also of all thy word and talk of thy doing. So he's meditating, and he's talking about it. He's not... First of all, let's talk about meditating. Meditate is not when you sit with your legs crossed and not how it goes, right? How many people have heard that joke? I have. I've got bad jokes for days. It's more than just that. It's to remember and reflect, to study and learn. It's to wrap our minds wholly around the subject, in this case, and always the case, God. Now, going back to this little thing I've been doing, we read this from God's point of view real quick. And you said, this is your infirmity. And you will remember the right hand of the Most High. Now I want you to picture here, God going from the sarcastic tone to just this right here. And you said, this is your infirmity, but you will remember the years of the right hand of the Most High. You will remember the works of the Lord. You will remember thy wonders of old. And you will meditate also of thy work and thy talk of thy doing. This is cool too, because it's God kind of changing tone a little bit on like, hey, come on buddy, you're going to do it. I never learned from a coach any coach that I had that was just screaming in my face, you just got to swing better. Yeah, my bad. How do you do that? Any coach that ever came to me and said, all right, let's work on that swing. Let's meditate. Let's work on this together. And you will do it. See, he's not telling us that you will do it. He's saying, dude, you're going to do it. He's trying to build up our confidence. Not boast our confidence. Build up our confidence in ourselves. Because we've got to remember that we are created in God's image. One of the biggest misconceptions in verses, I think, that has ever been is that God won't lay on you more than you can handle. That's not true. So I believe later in the scripture it says, paraphrasing, that he's going to get us through it. It's going to get hard. You don't build yourself up by doing the same way, like I said, but he's going to get us through it. You will do this. You will. Have faith and confidence in yourself. And I know it gets home. All right, so in verse 13. Thy way, O God, is in the sanctuary. Who is so great a God as our God? Thou art the God that doest wonders. Thou hast declared thy strength among the people. Thou hast with thine arm redeemed thy people, thy sons of Jacob and Joseph. Selah. Now we're not going to read it like we put the U's in there. But here it's like saying, you just imagine God's like, hey, whoa, who am I? Well, really, who am I? I'm the God of God. There's no gods like me. Who here's a Cubs fan? Gosh, I can't believe I'm doing this. Joe Madden, coach, right? Who's a? Oh, this is perfect. Does anybody know any names of any bad coaches in the league? I swear, if somebody says Mike Matheny, I'll step off this podium. You can't name them, right? Who would you rather have in your corner? Joe Madden or my high school baseball coach? Joe Madden. Joe Madden. But the truth is, I would too. God's like saying, hey, look at me. I'm the greatest there is. Don't doubt. It goes into 4:14, it says, thou art that God that doest wonders. And he's like saying, I am the one who does wonders. Right. Children, I am the one who has redeemed the people and the sons of Jacob and Joseph. That's me. That was my doing. That wasn't yours. Right. So why are you putting your faith in yourself during these trials and tribulations? Why are we trying to do this ourselves? We can't.
That's right.
We can't. And when we realize this, and we truly meditate and put it into practice, it leads us to a strength, but not of our own. For our own strength will not conquer this world. Verse 16. The waters saw thee, O God. The waters saw thee, and they were afraid. The depths also were trembled. The clouds poured out water. The sky sent out the sound. Thine arrows also went abroad. The voice of thy thunder was in heaven. The lightnings